Yeah.
What it
What's going
do?
on, fellas? We
What's
are
going
back.
on?
We are back.
Wow.
Brothers Men 2, we are back. Excited to see y'all. We ready to get into some things tonight because a lot has happened and transpired the past few weeks. We need to get into it. We need to talk about it. So it's me, Professor Swift, coming to you from Houston, Texas, by way of Lake Village, Arkansas.
What you drinking on?
I'm drinking on water. I'm trying to get back in shape, so I ain't drinking on no alcohol. I'm drinking on strictly water.
What they got to do with drinking?
Mind your business.
Okay.
Yep. This your boy T, man. I chill in the Izzy. You know what I'm talking about? I hope y'all had a good 4th of July. We gonna get right to it. I'm drinking on this green goodness, trying to get back right. Because I ate entirely too much for the 4th, so I'm back in grind mode, Operation Belly Fat.
Same. I did the same thing. What's up, y'all? It's Jay Ward coming to you from Shreveport. I'm drinking some brandy tonight. I just want to say I believe that DeAndre Ayton is T's long lost child, and I also want to give a shout out to my boy Juvenile for making Vax that thing up. A lot of people hating on my boy, but if he wouldn't have done it, somebody else would have just did it and made that money. So you might as well get that bag yourself. I don't blame him.
Bag must have been heavy.
Smash Scott.
That bag must have been heavy.
Must have been. Hey, Lou. Auntie, that was trash. He shouldn't have did that. Ruining the classic. Go ahead.
That's the problem. Y'all want the bag.
Hey, sister-in-law, how you doing tonight?
Hey, so.
Bro, about to get purged already. We just got that.
What up? This your boy coming from the Jack hometown representative. Definitely on that water tonight. I celebrated a little bit earlier, but on that water for a little early recovery. Hey.
What's going on, peoples? This your boy Rob coming to you from Tampa by way of Bolton, Mississippi. So I went and did one of those blood work tests that we talked about in our show a few weeks ago. Everything came back normal except for my hemoglobin A1C was a tad bit high. So I'm on the water. Hemoglobin A1C means that you are close to being diabetic. And so the numbers from 55 to 65, I came in at a 62. So I need to lose some weight, and so it's going down.
Gotcha. Okay.
So y'all boys want to be healthy, trying to follow my lead.
Are you healthy? Okay. But I guess. But let's go ahead and jump right to it. Because like I said, a lot of things transpired the past few weeks that we need to get into. And one of the larger things that took over all social media platforms, all conversations, communication was Sha'Carri Richardson. Now, this is Brothers Vent 2, so we can come at it from the healthy bros perspective, right? She took accountability out the gate. She made a video. She said, I smoke. It is what it is. I take the suspension, whatever. My brothers. Some people had her back. Some people thought that she should have ran anyway. We even saw AOC write a statement and try to get her to run. But what do y'all think? How do y'all feel about that entire situation? About Sha'Carri taking accountability as a black woman? And do you think that she should have ran? Who wants to start us off? Oh, now y'all quiet. Am I muted?
I'll jump in. So first, I just want to say, I appreciate her taking responsibility because that's what adults do. For those of us, and I think everybody on here, with the exception of Swift, he's the blessed one, have lost their mother. And that's something that you can't prepare for, and grief kind of does not have a playbook. So I get it. But on the same side of that, I ain't getting into why she smoked weed because she probably, I ain't judging her, but like somebody said, like she got smoker's lips, so it looked like she's been smoking. So, and then, it's a very not well hidden secret that in collegiate sports, people smoke all the time. The university just hides it because, it benefits the university. But the thing that bothered me the most about it is the people who don't care or don't know anything about track chiming in on it. That's what bothered me the most. I'm like, bro, y'all don't even watch track. You don't watch no Olympic events. If this woman was not black and that you could relate to her, because most of the people right before the whole smoking thing was judging her about her fingernails, her hair, her lashes, and all that type of stuff. So then when the man got after her because of this failed drug test, then everybody want to take her side, which we should, but that's kind of not the same thing.
What, should we?
I think we should take her side either way, because it's just like, look, keep your problems in house. Like, you know, like we'll talk about this in house amongst other black folks. Don't let them take over and, you know, do the thing. But like, if they were trying to attack her because of her appearance or because she's a black woman, then, you know, we really should have boycotted and all that. But she made a mistake. They owned, you know, they punished her. She took her lick and she's moving on. If y'all get a chance, go check out Marcellus Wiley and Emmanuel Archo. They have a good take on it. And like they said, the other 4 women on the relay team are all black. So you have to punish another black person to uplift this black person. So it's like, you know, what are you going to do? Also, like they said, that, you know, it's really going to benefit her brand because her followers on social media jumped by almost 300,000 since then. So it's like, you know, this has really benefited you, and all press is good press. And the reality of it is, because I watched track, she was not going to win anyway, because the Jamaicans are going to watch this anyway, because they've run faster times this whole track season. So we were going to get watched either way. So now she has 4 more years to prepare and get better. And then when she comes back, she's young, she'll come back and she'll run. But I think we shouldn't throw her under the bus, because we all make mistakes. That's why I haven't said anything public about it, because I'm like, hey, that's that lady, do your thing. I'm not going to bash you. I don't have anything to say either way. So I'm gonna just let it go.
I'm gonna say the Jamaicans watching her is debatable, because you start to get fast and you run to figure out. That's another topic for another day, but I think that's debatable.
Did any of y'all win first place in track?
I got 3rd place.
Okay, I was just wondering.
I won a track meet throwing the discus, and I got 3rd in shot put.
Well, yeah, in high school, I got 1st place running the 110 hurdle at our high school track meets, but at state, this big stupid built dude
that don't count
hit the hurdle, and he hit me and knocked down like me and 3 other dudes. He wasn't so big, I was gonna fight him, but I would have lost the fight.
If it ain't the 100 or the 200,
110. What?
I have a very good friend who went to high school with me. He ran track at LSU, honestly, and he was telling me about how track athletes don't make a lot of money. That needs to be the topic that we talk about, how the Olympians are broke. Like, that's what we really should be focused on. And like, she's going to make more money by not running in publicity than she would have just from running in the Olympics. Because I'm like, you know, who cares about this outside of the Olympics, which is unfortunate, but that's the topic.
You don't see track events outside the Olympics unless you like really keep up with it. So
right.
But she took accountability, right? She owned up to it. Is that normal do you see black women taking accountability for the wrongs they've done? I see Rob shaking his head. Rob, talk to me. Is this a new norm? Is this something new, or just a one-off type thing? Like, do we take accountability for our actions?
Man, we've been seeing, so everybody talks about, you know, Kevin Samuel, his message is too harsh. You know, then we see Monique, she said her message lovingly, and people still was trashing her. So it's like, what's the common denominator? Like, is it the message? Is it the messenger, or is it the person? Like, it just seems as though we've lost the ability to take accountability for the things that we do. And it's always, you know, you got to get used to this, or let people do X, Y, Z, or I messed up, whatever, or it's somebody else's fault. Like, it's never that person's fault. Like, it's always, you know, the other party. Like, this person made me do this. So the first thing was, by the time we found out about the situation, she had already accepted her punishment and she was moving on. And so for me, that made me see her in a different light, because she didn't go on social media, you know, crying about the punishment or being caught. By the time we found out about it, it wasn't from her. It was from the Olympic Committee. And so I think that she is showing those older than her and younger than her that if you mess up, you own it, you take your medicine, and then you move on, you know, to grow from the situation. You know, you don't blame, you know, the weed man because he sold you some weed, or you don't blame the committee because, you know, they shouldn't be testing for weed, or, you know, you don't blame your homeboy or your homegirl because they saw you smoking and this stopped. It's like all this everybody tends to pass the buck instead of looking at themselves. Yep, I screwed up. I'm gonna learn from it. And so I think that should be a lesson for everyone to be like, hey, I messed up. I own it. Let me take my medicine and then go forward. And I applauded her for that, which made me like her even more because she wasn't sweating it. You know, she knows she's good. She didn't lose that Nike bag. And so she'll learn from it and then she'll come back stronger is how I see it. But I think taking accountability should be the lesson here for everybody.
Well, Nike wasn't gonna drop it because they gonna support us because that's where their money is. But yep. Jay said, I think our women take accountability better than the men.
What?
From a public figure standpoint, I'm just thinking about when celebrity or public figure women have, you know, they typically own up to their shit and just move on.
Bro, what you think? You ain't talked yet.
I was listening to Jay Ward for a moment, but honestly, when it comes to that, I'm looking at everybody throw judgment towards that young lady. Like, you show me one person that's perfect in this world, that has been birthed and perfect in this world. You know what I'm saying? You saw everybody, like, I think everybody kind of piggyback on it. It was judgment for this, that, and the other. And so when that wasn't getting in the way, then this big thing, then it was like, yeah, I can really throw this at you and hurt you and judge you. And then you also saw those who were fake, you know, like you all touched on. Those who all of a sudden, if you probably go back and read their social media, where they ridicule why her hair is gold, why does she have long fingernails, why does she run up to the stands and hug her, you know?
Because she's from Dallas.
I'm just saying, you know, people judge and stereotyping, you know, and so instead of saying like, yo, that's a deep moment. She ran to her family member during that time, you know, not break down on the thing. She went to her family at that moment in time. Also, when it comes to her just having accountability is dope on that level. Her age, owning up to, you know, recognizing, and then going into private on how she's gonna mend it and fix it within herself and within her organization. You know, that's another thing. I think Rob also said it. She didn't run a social media. You don't see her on social media, you know. And that goes back to probably how she was raised, you know, our environment.
Bro, I want you to answer this question though. I'm still on this. Do you think women take accountability better than men?
Oh, now I will go to that.
Okay, I want to know that.
Now, I think Jay Ward is speaking on maybe like your Futures of the world, that type of individual. But Jay Ward also forget you really wouldn't have Jada Smith. Whatever her name is, Smith woman, taking accountability until August. Let it go. You get what I'm saying? So you got to really just think about this on a full level. I think Jay Ward was acting emotionally when he typed that versus logically, you know. So you have to go back and look at those situations. And I know you might have some that may throw some other male celebrity names out there who are big, but you also have to look at those who have taken accountability and just settle things outside of the public's eye.
A tan? I'm dark skinned. Dark skinned men don't get tans. What are you talking about?
Boy, you not dark skinned. That's a lie.
Cap.
Look, I knew somebody was gonna throw that name up at the bottom, talking about that R. Kelly take accountability. See, that's exactly who I was thinking about. Like, I knew somebody was gonna. That's their go-to right there. That's their go-to. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you can't really. We're not gonna use R. Kelly. That's a bad example. That's a bad example. CJB.
Nope. Well,
I'm coming to introduce himself. He's just coming on.
Oh, what's up, CJB? My bad.
He can't.
Right, hey, you see, he thugging in this thing. Hey,
right?
Corey.
The law came out.
Corey, don't let him do that to you.
With the cap. But go ahead, CJB.
Man, I ain't gonna take your. I ain't trying to take your spot, T. Man. I'm just jumping in here, man. I know it's your time to talk, bro, but I ain't trying to take your time to talk, bro. You know what I'm saying?
My guy.
You know, we 100 around these parts.
Go ahead, CJB.
CJB here by way of Atlanta, Georgia. I see we talking about Miss Sha'Carri.
Yeah, we're gonna let T get his comments out before we forget. Come on, Nick Cannon Jr.
All right. So
You know he wanted in Biloxi.
listen, man, chill out.
Right.
Y'all already know. Every week I come on here and I say the same thing, and I ain't switching up, and I'm never gonna switch it up. Y'all niggas do not like to be held accountable. Y'all want to move the goalposts for people that y'all like at the end of the day, and you think you could do whatever the hell you want to do. And that is the problem with y'all folks. You black people feel like they can walk out in front of a car because they have the right of way there's a pedestrian. Don't matter how fast the car is coming. And that's exactly what y'all doing.
That's a bad example.
It is because, okay, you do have the right of way, but at the same time, don't be no fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying?
You must hang around some idiots then.
No, old girl fumbled the bag. She's a fucking idiot, bro.
We ain't gonna go there, bro.
She didn't lose any money though. She didn't lose any money.
Y'all whatever y'all niggas so y'all niggas want to cake for that girl, bro. I don't care, bro. No, I got millions on the line, man. I'm from the hood. She from the hood. This the chance of a lifetime. This is the chance to take your family, whatever. Man, no, y'all with all that cap, bro. Only thing I will give her a pass on is she's young. And she's able to make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So I will give her that. Just like when they were talking about her hair and her nails and stuff, when they came at her on that, I don't like it. I don't like the representation of it. But at the same time, I said again, she's young. Listen,
why?
I'm not there yet. I said when she had the hair and the nails, I did not like it. But at the same time, she's young and I understand it. You know what I'm saying? My niece got all the hair. She do her thing. They young. I don't have no problem with young people expressing themselves. So that's beside the point. But this weed, no, I can't give her no pass on no weed. And y'all can take it how y'all want to.
Why not?
One, because I've never smoked weed in my life. Ever. In my life. Yeah. And I've been around bells. I've been around bells. Bells of weed.
Now, T, you a rapper, T, so I'm in thorough disbelief in this story.
Bells.
You from Law, Mississippi.
You from Law.
Hey, I'm gonna speak for my boy T on that. Hey, T ain't did nothing.
I ain't never smoked no weed in my whole life, bro.
Hold on. That's fair. Okay, I you know what? I'll accept that. Okay. But have you ever did anything that was illegal? No lean.
And again, we're not talking about me right now. We're talking about
but like you gonna pass just
all I'm saying is at the end of the day, I wrote a couple notes on this. Well, black people can do whatever they want to do. Entitlement. The people feel entitled and they want to move the goalposts for people that they really like. And again, we are too forgiving. And by us being too forgiving and giving passes to stupid behavior leads to more stupid behavior. Period, bro. It's over with.
But I'm gonna say this before you go, Jay Ward. I'm not gonna say that her smoking weed is a stupid behavior. If she was
stupid behavior when she's going to the Olympics, to Tokyo, and
let me finish.
Drop the bag.
let me finish, T. I'm gonna say it's not stupid behavior. It's that's the only way she knew how to cope with her mother's death. I will say that. That's a pain I don't want to have to experience. And I'm pretty sure y'all had y'all ways of coping when that happened. So I can't say that's stupid behavior. That's the way she was using it. She was using it.
If you want to honor your parent, if you want to honor your mother, you do what you are put on the earth to do. You express your talents. You know what I'm saying? You live up to whatever your mother would want you to do. Not fumble the bag.
Everybody cope differently, but
that's true.
This is Sha'Carri has smoker lips, meaning this is not the first time she fired up a blunt. Like, let's keep it buck. Like,
true. When I
first seen her, first off, I don't mind the hair, the nails. I believe people should rock what she want to rock. And she's like, that's a cultural thing for us, especially in track. Sha'Carri's not the first female track athlete to rock long nails. Like, a lot of black women that rock black long nails. I don't care about that. I don't even care about the hair. That's part of her brand. But let's keep it buck. That's not the first time she smoked weed. And I'm not putting nobody in this chat on blast, but we both know how to point out smoker lips when we want to. She has smoker lips. Like, let's keep it buck. Like, and she's been smoking in season for a long time. This time, she just so happened to get caught. That's all it was.
Able to hide it.
She wasn't able to hide it. It's really unfortunate how she found out her mother passed. I think that's a low blow for smoker lips. I think it's a low, and that's real. I'm not talking bad about her. Like, we know people who have smoker lips, and if they have smoker lips, that means they smoke frequently. She has smoker lips. She smokes frequently. So this is not a one-time occurrence. Let's get that out.
Let's
like, I don't know how it feels to lose a parent, but I feel like it was foul how she found out, and that's the hill she want to die on and say that's the reason why she did it. You know, that's cool. But I agree with T. It's just certain things you can't do when the stakes are high, and even if you know what I'm saying, you reach a certain level, you got to know, like, all right, I can't smoke during this time. And if her weed man was real, they wouldn't have sold her nothing. But the times has changed. Let's put that out there too.
She could have went anywhere to get some weed.
She was
in Oregon at the time too. I think she was in Oregon at the time and it's legal there. So I think she was very accessible.
I blame her family.
But let me go to the
I don't blame her. That ain't her family. That ain't on her family. Like, when you grown, you gonna do what you want to do, man. It's like you can't tell a grown person what they can and can't do.
But if I see you about to do your what is it, CPA exam or whatever, and I'm like, hey, okay, cool, and I know it's coming up next week, I'm not finna let you go out here crash.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but still, like I said, this leads to a bigger conversation. In certain areas of our communities, we don't know how to cope with certain things or tell people what to do and what not to do. So we look for those other avenues like smoking and drinking and having sex and a lot of things we shouldn't be involved. That's not healthy. But I'm gonna go to the comments real quick. And then Jay Ward, I know you had something to say, so we're gonna wrap it up because we're on this for a while. Kim said she messed up, take the L and continue on, learn from that L, but know that this will be the topic for the rest of her career.
That's what she did.
She didn't have the right people in her corner, and people out here talking about she's gonna make it back. How many people almost make it or make it, but they don't make the next one? Miss McCullough, she's still able to make money. If she has the correct team, her brand will flourish. Simmons, she represented all the bad stereotype of black women on an international level. Black women should be more angry instead of defending. That's a nice take. I have never seen anyone moving fast smoking weed. It is not an enhancement drug. I'm just saying puff, puff, and I'm gonna say I've seen some smokers get on down on track and basketball.
I've seen some cigarette smokers run like the wind. I worked with a lot of them.
That too. That alcohol is legal, but if you come to work drunk, you're going to get suspended, and that's what happens. Weed is legal, but you came to work high. That's life. That's a good point too. Melanin Barbie, no, that's still bad behavior because we have got to know the different ways of coping, and she is on a bigger platform where she could have shown younger people how to deal with loss. But she wasn't thinking about that at the time. And Mr. Nail last come on read. She was a true representation of herself, but she is a habitual smoker. The mother passing just happened at the right time for it to be justified. Jay, what you got?
Yeah, I just want to say that when you think about accountability, one of the main names that comes to my mind is Josh Gordon, who's had time and chance after chance to get himself right, and he never does. But the NFL takes him back, and I have not seen any thought pieces about him, really, none of that type of stuff. So it's just like, it's just, picks and chooses. Antonio Brown constantly is in trouble. He finally has it right. So I'm like, don't throw the girl away. So that's what I was thinking about more so when I think about like accountability. I've never heard him take accountability for anything. Carmelo Anthony has yet to take any accountability publicly for, the stuff he does. A lot of these people really don't take a lot of accountability, and she instantly took her L and moved on. So I think that is commendable. Chrissy Eugene, I know you think
have no choice, boy. She couldn't fight it.
I mean, she still went around it. Even the guy from the Kentucky Derby
out of that. She can't.
The guy from the Kentucky Derby, who's white, it has nothing to do with us really, but he still has yet to take accountability. Dog, your horse cheated. That's why you won. Your horse cheated. But weed is not a performance-enhancing drug. So the rule of weed being a banned substance, that needs to change. And I've seen a lot of smokers who I used to see a lot of football players get high before games and be exceptional. So it doesn't take away from you. Right. Some people, that's how they function. So, that's just their thing.
Yeah, in the band, I saw people drinking on the way to the stadiums.
The main word that Jay Moore said is rude.
I think it's different. Like, Josh Gordon got flamed, man. When he violated substance abuse, he was out for a year. Like, he kept coming back, but he still got punished and he got blamed. Like, I'm talking about, he got it from every talk show, every media personality. He didn't get no sentence.
He's a beast.
Yes. Like, he got flamed. Like, I think got flamed for his dumb shit. I'm not going to talk about Carmelo because that's not related to sports. That's more so personal. But
like Stephen A. Smith's entire stay off the weed line came from Josh Gordon.
That's where he started. And Black. Look out, Josh Gordon and Blackman and Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell, Von Miller, Josh Gordon, and Justin Blackman was the one who started him from saying that. So it's like T said. I agree with T. I feel like in this day and age, we as Black people move the post for people we like, and it just we don't keep the same energy for people. Like I appreciate her basically taking accountability, but I think it was I don't think it was a one-time occurrence. Like I said, she got smoker lips, so she's been smoking for years. She probably was smoking at LSU. They just gave her a pass. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
all right. Any final comments on this one?
Rule is the key word. I'm done.
All right, let's move on. We got a few more to talk about tonight. I saw a text going around. This guy was making this. His wife had just got a $70K job, and he wanted to take a break, and his wife said no. And then I saw another text going around about this guy and his wife going on a business trip. They had usually split everything in half.
That was fun.
He was making like six figures, and she was making like what, $45,000. But they split everything down the middle, and even when it came to the vacation. and I don't know if this. I really hate these because I don't think they'd be real. But
they ain't real, bro. Let's not waste
the
time. Let's not give it time. It's not real.
But I'm gonna ask a
Let's
different
not give it time. It's not real.
I know
People
it's not
be
real.
doing that shit just to spark a conversation. It not be real.
But the question is, should men really pay for everything?
In what way?
Should men split out all the financials when it comes to the bills and vacations, and should men pay for everything, or should it be split down the middle? How do y'all feel? Or should it just whatever works for your house? She openly gay too? Oh no! If she had said she was openly gay. No, if she had said she was openly gay and smoking with her gay friends, nothing would have happened. I'm guessing that mean happen.
Right.
I know the alphabet community got power, but she still would have got suspended.
I'm sitting here thinking, like, what do I really think she would have got suspended?
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Think so?
Yeah.
Okay. But back to the question: should men? We're gonna get to Wendy Williams. Jake, God, dog. Should
I'd rather talk about that, really.
Well, real quick, not gonna spend too much time on it. Whatever works for your house, should men do it or split 50-50? What do y'all think?
Whatever works for your house, but in that situation that I saw, even though I know it's fake, you don't let your old lady took initiative to work an extra job to have money to go on a vacation with your uppity people. You should have made sure that she was covered and felt comfortable and safe to do all the activities. Now that's your people and that's how they roll. So if you already know they roll like that, don't have your old lady feeling some type of way and she can't go do things because she ain't got the bread. 50-50, that means like bills and stuff like that. But if it's some, let's just say, for example, you bring your old lady to homecoming, you need to cover the expenses because, you know, this is your turf. I feel like when something is on your turf, you need to be the one that's kind of footing the bill and different things like that. That's just how I feel about it.
Why are you bringing her to homecoming?
What if he told her that he didn't want her to go, but she still chose to go?
But why are you bringing her to homecoming? Let's move on.
So, Sue, you want to bring your old lady to homecoming?
I'm single. I ain't got to answer that question. Let's move on.
Well, that goalpost just
I'm
right.
single.
Hey, you see Swift look like the real host now with the microphone.
I've been here. Let me keep going. Wendy Williams versus Tab. I don't know exactly what Wendy Williams said. I did watch Tab response though. But let me backtrack. Wendy Williams was talking about Tab because she allowed her husband quit his job as LAPD, and she trashed her for it. And I don't know exactly what. Like I said, I can't remember all the details, but Tabitha had a nice response. Like it was I wish I could play it. But whose side y'all taking? Let's start there. Wendy Williams or Tab? Do you agree with or do you mind Wendy Tab letting her husband retire or quit and them living out their dreams on her salary, or how do y'all feel about it? And Jay Ward, you can start.
It's a backstory.
There is a backstory to it. CJB, you want to go in?
Yeah, what's the backstory?
All I gotta say is this man was supporting what's her name, Tabitha, on a cop salary. She made it. It's only right that she retired. He didn't quit his job. She retired him.
Right.
And it's a lot of these influencers out here that are retiring their husband. You just don't know about it. They just went public with that. That's all. And Wendy, just being the type of person she is, getting outraged, just want to get in the headlines, and she talked about it. And it worked. It got her in the headlines. And she got a response. So it's a win for Wendy. I don't think she really cares what happened. She know her own life and she know what's been said, but she did what she was supposed to do, like retire her king. Like, and it wasn't like he a bum, like the man was funding her, letting her do all she wanted to do while he paid all the bills. So it's like it was only right.
And Miss Marie, right? If he retired, then he's still getting a check. So it's not like he's not doing anything or not bringing in any funds. That's a good point too. Go ahead, Jay.
First of all, man, being a police officer in Los Angeles is super dangerous. So why wouldn't you want to get your man off of that beat that he's on, where, you know, every day is a day where it could be his last day on the job, which is the case on many jobs, but like, you know, military bros, police officer bros, that's a dangerous job. Like that's something there right there that I'm just like, I commend her for that. But he also supported her, and I think somebody said for 15 years. That's a long time. And I'm an actor myself, and I know what it's like to have small gains in the world of entertainment, and then you have setbacks and all that. And if I didn't have a consistent job that paid my bills, I don't know where I'd be struggling, because it's, you know, it's like you make a lot of money and then it's like, boom, you make nothing. So also, you know, this couple is older, like they have grown children and things like that. So I'm like, they've been together. But ultimately, I think Wendy Williams is bitter. And I think that she was supporting her husband, just like, you know, Monique supports her husband. Anyway, I think she supports her husband, and you know, he cheated on her and had a kid on her and all that, and she's projecting that onto Tabitha, and I just don't think that that's right, because, you know, just because it didn't work out for you doesn't mean that it's not going to work out for her. So there's nothing wrong with, you know, making sure that you support your significant other or your parents, because I remember that came up with like Kobe and his parents and things like that. Like, the moment I can buy my daddy a Corvette, I'm gonna go park it in his driveway. Like, I cannot wait for that moment. I'm gonna just drive it in his driveway and leave. Like that moment, because my dad didn't put in a lot of work. Once I'm at that situation in my life, I'm at that point in my life, I'm definitely going to take care of him. Not only him, if I'm in that situation, I'm gonna take care of my uncles and my aunts. I'm gonna buy them all houses and cars like that. My mom is gone, so I can't do it for her. But everybody that I love, I'm gonna do it for them if I can.
Come on,
cousins, everybody balls.
Speaking to existence, brother. I can see you on a Tyler Perry show.
But that is a woman, though, right?
Who, Tabitha?
No, Wendy Williams.
Yeah, that's a woman, man.
You got a child?
Well, I don't know. Ray J knocking that down, so it got.
I can't believe that, man. That's.
But it is Ray J, though. Like,
Jay want to be on Sisters.
I don't have the abs to be on Sisters. You got to have abs to be on Sisters.
Crow, what you think?
Man, I'm proud of any black couple that is holding each other down. From beginning, middle, and end. That should be the true story of it. Forget all the BS in between, the middle, all the ridicule. It's the fact that a man led, his wife saw what her husband was doing, and in turn, after she made it to where she needed to, she uplifted him. And now, with both of them doing what they needed to do, they're uplifting their family on a higher pedestal altogether. You know, and that's the thing about it. We caught up in Wendy calling her out and her response, which was excellent. But at the same time, let's focus on the fact that this is, you know, how people are always putting up goals and all that. Like, I ain't saying like you because black women will get this twisted. Well, he should support me while I'm going. No. If you have aspirations or goals and you really got a plan and and he sees them and buy into it, because we also have seen women leave dudes once they get, you know, on top of where they need to be. So, like, that's accountability. You seeing your man step up and lead, and then you come back in return and show that same towards him, and you all continue to build. Because don't think that's the end for her husband. You think her husband, yeah, he's retired. She retired her husband, but he's going to do something probably bigger and better that we don't even know about, that's going to come to the family now that she has retired him, that he has been waiting to do all along. But he had the hustle and grind. But his queen saw that and said, hey, babe, now retire from the 9 to 5 and do what you really love, just as I do what I love now. So that's the bigger thing we need to look at and focus on as a black community versus the bickering that's going on right now. We should be taking notes and seeing if they did stumble along the way and fall. Hey, how did you all make it through it? How did you all get to the point where you all are at now? That's what we need to be truly looking at.
Gotcha. T, did you were saying something?
Yeah, I was just saying, like, her husband is gonna get whatever it is that he doing tenfold. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially now that he has the time to dedicate to it. Because the one thing you can't stop is a man that has a supportive wife behind him, and then a man that's focused. And if he was able to hold down that job or hold her down for 15 years doing something, I mean, I'm sure he liked doing police work, but this is something that he loves. So you can't expect that man not to, you know what I'm saying, be successful. People like him are not bums, you know what I'm saying?
Not
So
ever.
I think that's Wendy's problem. Like, hurt people. You know what I'm saying? And Wendy, like y'all said, she's bitter, but other than that, she's projecting. You know what I'm saying? And that's dangerous. You know, like when you let your experience try to like cast a shadow on somebody else to relate. Like, you could say what you want to say, or you could offer advice, but at the end of the day, I never try to cast a shadow of doubt, you know what I'm saying, on anybody's relationship or like any of their ideals or your aspirations or dreams, you know what I'm saying? That's just not something that I think people should do, you know what I'm saying, cast that shadow of doubt. So I really think that Tab actually won in the end because her followers went sky fucking high after all of this. She got more exposure from Wendy than anything, you know what I'm saying?
Her season is sold out.
Yeah, so it's a win-win, man.
Might have been a ploy. I'm the conspiracy bros. Let me look into that.
But it's because of her response too. But you kind of expected that kind of response from Tabitha to begin with, that southern voice and praying praying for your enemies. Yeah. Go ahead, Rob.
All right, so there's multiple things in play here. So Wendy spoke to a large set of Black women that are on social media and that are watching her show. There's a large group of Black women and some Black men who despise Black men, like just don't like us at all. There's a large group of them. Like, there's a whole group of people who feel like we're degenerates, we can't do anything right. You know, we're out to get them. You know, we're the boogeyman. We're no good. There's a large group of people who believe this about us, which is why I'm glad we have this show to show the good parts of what we are as Black men. So that's the first thing at play. The second thing at play is you have a Black wife that is retiring her Black husband. That's the second thing at play. So you have this. So for us, we believe that the Black man should be building up the woman until he dies. Like, he should only be pushing her up. He shouldn't get any support. He shouldn't get any help. He shouldn't get any words of affirmation. He shouldn't get any love. He should just work, love his lady out loud, and die. Like, that's what most people, like, anything that is positive when it comes to a Black man in a relationship to a Black woman, like, people try to poke holes in it. Like, even when Wendy said her piece and then Tab responded, people were attacking Tab because they're saying she's fake. Like, it's just all these things to try to poke holes into this couple and a positive story. Like, why is a wife retiring her husband such a controversial issue? Like, why is that controversial? And that's something that we have to ask ourselves is, why is that a bad thing? Like, why would that be something that we have to, defend? Like, why are people upset about that? It's weird.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
It's so weird to me, man.
And one thing I see is when we put out, or statistics are put out about Black marriage in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, how they were higher than they are now. You always see that combated with, well, they were cheating, they were beating their wives, they had 2 and 3 different families. So why is it that? Let me finish, CJB. I'm gonna come to you. So why, when we put these stats out or say, these great things about Black marriage back then and trying to get to their level now, why is it met with hate and these false claims? Because if it was one person having a family, okay, but every Black man married in the 40s, 50s, and 60s wouldn't cheat on his wife and beating his wife, right? So why is it met with so much hate when we try to move to a better life for Black men and Black women to get married? Go ahead, CJB.
No, I was just gonna talk about what Rob said. It's like it was this young lady that put up a tweet, and the tweet said, "Black men, show me a picture of your black wife," and that thread was filled of pictures, bro. I'm talking about like then you always have somebody that hate on it. Like the chick had to come out and say she had to come out and say me putting that statement out was not a knock against interracial relationships. And she also had to say why everybody think that the husband got to be cheating or this and that. Y'all watch too much TV, which is true.
Who was it that put that tweet out? Was it Paradise Paris?
Who was it? Who?
Was it Paris? Paradise Paris?
Hell no, it was somebody else. I have to send you. I'll text you the thread.
Bonner. Yeah. It was Bonner.
Who it was?
Bonner.
Good one. Good one. Good one. Good one. Good one. Good one.
Y'all know the backstory of Bonner. Keep going.
I don't know, man. Like, you know, it is what it is. I'm not in the business of convincing somebody. I don't think a lot of men should either. Sometimes you just gotta let the birds chirp, man, and leave it at that. Like, people gonna feel how they feel at the end of the day. It doesn't make sense to spend time to show what we already know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw one comment about chicks was saying that the black men or our husbands not involved in the kids' life, and they don't know their kids' birthdays, and they don't do nothing around the house. Just crazy stuff, man. But it is what it is. It's popular now to say stuff like that on social media. That's all it is.
Well, why so? So I'm gonna come to you, Rob, after I read these few comments.
Why? Because people build their brands up off of that. They build their brand, get popular, then they come out into what they're really trying to do. So like it's this chick that's a chef now. Before she got big as a chef, that's all she used to put out, like basically anti-black man comments. Just so if you want to build your brand up as a woman, all you gotta do is just trash men. It's gonna get picked up. Then once you build your brand, you can come out with what you really want to do. That's all it is.
That's an interesting.
It's a sleazy way to build your brand, but I've seen it like so many times.
Okay, hold on, real quick, Rob. Rita said because misery loves company, happy and healthy people don't go out of their way to bash people. Lateran said it is met with hate because they want the results without the work. Miss Marie, this goes back to accountability when these women continue to paint this narrative. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to say was I don't think a lot of women realize just how hard their black man is working and how much stuff they really have to deal with. So for Tab to be that in tune with her husband to realize he's tired, like, I got it. Let me take you off your feet for a little bit because like T said, he's a worker. And like Tab said, he was doing the nonprofit while he was working. But you can't devote your full brain power to something that you actually love when you're actually working on something else. And so the fact that she was able to see and understand how hard he was working, how tired he was, and how much he had done for her and their family, their kids, to be like, this is where I know that your passion is, and this is what I want to do for you. I think that speaks a lot to her as far as her understanding. And maybe because she's built her brand over time, she understands what hard work is and how tiring it is and how stressful it is and how much it takes out of you. Like, a lot of people don't understand that because it's an unequal yoked relationship where one person's working super hard and one person's not working that hard. So they don't understand how hard it is to get up every single day and to go to work and to handle the family and to protect the family and the plan stuff. And people don't get it. And so I think that was great for her to understand that her husband needed to be retired from this job so he can focus on his true love, his true passion, what he wanted to do. So I think that should be something that we should all look forward to. I don't believe in the goals thing, but I do hate that we as a race consistently focus on the cheating couples. Like it disturbs me how much we make the cheating couples the majority instead of the minority. Like there was a picture of Samuel L. Jackson and Magic Johnson. It was like 7 or 8 different couples with black wives. No one ever talks about them. No one ever talks about them. They're never in the tabloids. They're never in cheating scandals. They're all married to a black woman, black man. No one ever talks about them. They just stay out of the way. They make their money. It's crazy, man.
Rob, but as soon as somebody talk about them, everybody gonna be digging and trying to find something to tear it down. Like,
it's crazy, man. It's like we're attracted to like the negativity of black relationships instead of the fulfilledness, the greatness, and the long-term stability of these black healthy relationships. It's like we're attracted to negativity because that's all we focus on and talk about over and over and over and over and over again.
Somebody gonna go looking for that all of that in that moment. It's like you have to tear down the black man. You have to tear down the black woman. You have to tear down the black couple. You have to tear down that unit in order to make it.
Mm-hmm. And I saw someone else bring up what Jay Ward asked, should have it been announced? And people in the comments saying yes, it was great to announce because it should be celebrated. And someone else mentioned Toby and Fat, the rappers here in Houston. And they always doing videos together. I absolutely love it, and songs together. So I do think that it should be announced and celebrated because we need to see it. Because we see the negative all day, every day. We need to see some positive
all the time.
Because it is happening, especially on these social media.
But Swill, somebody gonna be like, man, make love. They don't love each other like that, man. They ain't really like that.
Or he DM'd me 7 years ago when he was still single.
But then you're gonna have some female who gonna try to come at him and then put their messages on Instagram, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? It's always gonna be somebody like, I gotta get in there.
Yep. Any final comments on that one?
Everyone,
you all right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Am I muted?
No, you good.
Not my computer failed. I get like, we not tired of like not celebrating and tearing down people. Like, we don't get tired of that. Like, I just don't understand that culture. Like, we constantly tear people down. Like, I just hate how people tear celebrities down and just preachers down and all that type of stuff. Some of those people deserve that, but like, if they do deserve that, let the universe pay them for that. Like, I just don't believe in tearing somebody down. I just get tired of that same narrative, that same story. I just be like, man, I'm just gonna let people live their life, because I'm trying to live mine. I ain't got time to just go and be worried about what that person is doing and what such and such is doing. And I think the last thing on that is that there is no perfect love story. And so, yes, those people had their ups and downs, and even though they didn't expound on their ups and downs, I'm pretty sure they had them. But that doesn't mean that their story isn't good for them just because it's not perfect in your eyes. So I think we got to stop like having these fantasies of these celebrities and thinking like, oh, I want to be like that. Oh, but I didn't know this, and this, and this. So it's just like, man, we gotta focus on positive stuff. And like, this is what Rob was saying. This is like, every time there's something positive, somebody come with 10,000 negative things, and it's just like, fuck, man, y'all don't get tired of that same stuff. It's exhausting. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
And then somebody else said something and like, give an example of a man like retiring a woman, like literally every celebrity. It's just like literally every celebrity is just like that. Like, these women don't do anything but be pretty. And
sure, Rob retired his wife.
Retired. It's like Melinda Gates. It's like, what has Melinda Gates done, really to be like one of the richest women in the world now? What has she done? So it's like, like, man, come on now. Like, usually it's the other way around. I celebrate this woman and this man because they did that. And the man is a hard worker, so he's going to continue to work. He's just not going to be a police officer anymore. That's kind of like common sense. No slick to Ray J smashing Wendy Williams. Like, come on, dog. You smashed Kim Kardashian. So now you smashing Wendy Williams?
Oh, it's Wendy Williams.
Step up.
It's cocaine, man.
Ray J on cocaine?
Ray J?
Man, y'all ain't heard the story about Ray J?
No,
I don't think I want to hear the story about
I don't
Ray
want
J.
to hear this.
Anyway,
I like Ray J.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is y'all. I'll talk to you guys after the show. Y'all know.
All right.
What? Which Ray J? Come on, man. No.
We talking about Brandy's brother.
Yeah, come on, man. I like Ray J.
All right, so wrap this one up. Any final comments on Tab and
that's the problem. That's the problem right there.
That's not the only one. You got the Shade Room. You got Lipstick Alley.
No. 24 million followers. Come on, man.
Who got them in it? Oh, the Shade Room?
Shade Room.
And it's ran by who? A black woman.
But hey, I don't got a social media, so hey.
But that's their business. That's what they like. What is that?
Earn Your Leisure, my guys.
Who is Earn Your Leisure?
Hey, check them out,
You never
man.
heard of that before?
Check them out.
They got
Those
like a
brothers,
business
they legit.
podcast.
Now,
They
just
got dope interviews.
so just
They
think
legit.
if Earn Your Leisure had 24 million and Shade Room had 800,000, how the world would? Anyway, that's
This
another
ain't
Those
thing.
brothers
new,
the truth,
T,
man.
T, this is not new, bro. It's not new, man. You know how this goes, man.
But those, I mean, that business model works, right? Because people are attracted to negativity.
That's all it is,
Negative
bro.
stories, either negativity or nakedness. So OnlyFans, that's another one that's popping too. People going to OnlyFans. Speaking of, I think there was a question. I don't know if it was asked by an audience member or I think it was asked, how do you feel about OnlyFans business model? Because I think Kevin Samuels talked about it and said you can try, but it's not going to be popular for long.
Kim C said yes, bro, and it's still going strong. So that's that.
Well,
Kevin Samuels just, hey.
No, I think OnlyFans is getting ready to make a switch from what they are known for. Basically, they're starting.
It's gonna be somebody else that pick it up. Do you know how much money OnlyFans bringing in, bro? Somebody gonna tap into that market. The only thing OnlyFans doing, they use that to build their money up, and they moving on to something else. So somebody else gonna pick that money back up.
Justin LeBoy.
All this free porn out here. You want to pay somebody else to do some.
OnlyFans has changed the business model because it is about to go public. And Jay Ward, you're talking about all this free porn, which is fine. But like we talked about this before, if there are some certain individuals on OnlyFans, I definitely would make that subscription. But that's another topic for another day.
I ain't saying it. I ain't found it yet.
You ain't fat.
I ain't found nobody that I want to pay $24 a month to watch personal stuff from. I just don't see it. I couldn't do it.
Are you drunk? Because I'm pretty. So y'all mean to tell me there's nobody y'all would pay to see?
We talked about this, man. Tracy
Frost. I thought so.
But I think she'll be boring though on the OnlyFans. Like,
but how would you know unless you subscribe to see?
That's how they're getting y'all.
Honey pot, man. All right. Honey pot.
This was a viewer question.
Shout out to Team Steve.
Who?
Keep going.
I don't know. Another one.
T-shirt now, OnlyFans.
I don't know Team Steve. I don't think I need to know Team Steve. So this was a viewer. This was a viewer question. It was a video on TikTok. She was explaining some scenarios about men and why they do or do not get married. Mostly, why do you get married? And what do you do when you marry someone you find that you're not really attracted to or you're happy to? And they asked, you're already married with children, and then you find a woman you feel you could have spent the rest of your life with. Would you A, leave and get your happiness, or B, stay in your current situation? Let me read it again. I'm gonna read it again.
The single bros can answer that question, dog.
No.
I think the married bros need to answer that one first. Yeah, that's for the married bros.
So you are already married with children, but you're not happy, I'm guessing. And then you find a woman you feel you could spend the rest of your life with, basically making you happy. Would you A, leave and get your happiness, or B, stay in your current situation?
When you're married, it's over, man.
He get murdered.
It's over, bro.
Right,
it's over, man. When you married, you hang it up, bro. It's over, man. Just it is what it is, bro. You chose your path. You know what I'm saying? For a reason.
Yes, it's like why you get married if that wasn't the person you wanted to spend the rest of your life with? It just you got married because it felt good or it sounded good or you wanted to have a wedding. That's why you got married. Don't make any sense. To me, it don't.
Excuse me, on Swift. Brandon, how do you find someone when you're married? That's my question. I'm a bit confused.
Ask that question again.
How do you find someone when you're already married? that you find these things with?
I can't answer that question. I'm not. I'm just asking the question that a viewer asked. Maybe y'all
it
work
could be
together.
a coincidence, but it just said Fee started watching. Rob, about to get killed.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. So I ain't gonna say who asked this question, but to the person that asked this question, we can't answer this question because I don't need none of my brothers to come up missing. Rob, I know she watching. Jay Ward, I don't want you. Nah, she might be in the room with Corey. Is she in the room?
Hey, you remember last time Corey got him the real fast?
Right, she pulled up.
She pulled up.
So let me backtrack then. Another question that was asked. When should you have the what are we conversation? Let's get back away from that. When did you have the what are we conversation? And when should you have the what are we conversation? Because I don't want y'all to come up missing.
You should never have the what are we conversation. Ever. You know what I'm saying?
Why?
Because when you got to ask, then it's already ambiguous. That's how I feel.
Right. So there's no point. Like I don't, and plus I don't think especially a woman. I don't think a woman should ever ask a man, "What are we?" Like a man gonna let you know. He gonna cover. He don't want nobody else in the cookie jar, man. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna shut all that down if you know what I'm saying. If that's what it is. So and then again, if you have to ask, then you might as well leave and see if he gonna come get it. Like, okay, well, look, hey, I thought this what it was. Obviously, it ain't what it was. I'm gonna fall back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't putting no pressure on you. You know, this ain't no pressure. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna fall back a little bit. And hey, whatever gonna happen. But I ain't finna have no conversation, man. Please, nope.
So no one. Let me ask you. No one believes you should have a conversation about.
I think you should have not necessarily a what are we conversation, but where are we going? Like, what are your expectations? But I think you should do that from the beginning. Like, hey, what are you looking for? Are you just looking for a sexual partner? Are you looking for a life partner? I think you should have that conversation up front. Like, what are you looking for? Like, as I got older in life, I started leading like with my kinks, my expectations, my different desires, and all that type of stuff. Like, this is what I'm into, all these things. So you can just know up front, like, this is how I roll. This is what it is. So,
Jay Ward like to fuck with the cape on.
I never thought about that. Should I get a cape?
Oh, man.
Jay Ward said he bringing out the handcuffs, the rope,
with the cape.
But I mean, whatever your kinks are, I think you should lead with that.
Put my head through the wall.
When you get to a point where you know you're going to have sex with somebody, you should lead with what your kinks are. So that person is not thrown off by what it is that you're into. I think those, as an adult, you should be able to have those type of conversations. See, some of y'all have kinks, but you're scared to tell people, and that leads to shit down the road. But I'm gonna leave that alone.
I'm trying to figure out what you mean by kinks. I don't think I want to know though.
Let's say, for example, you're a footman. Let's say, for example, you're a footman. And T, where you go, T? Let's say, for example, you are a footman and you in the feet. That's something that you probably should lead with, that you just like to do shit with feet. Like, hey, I like sucking toes. I want your feet a certain way. I want you to jack me out with your feet. Those are your kinks. And then that woman can decide, like, this is too weird for me or this is okay. Like, consent is really big now. And I think that stops a lot of shit. Like Trevor Bauer's going through it right now. the pitcher for the Dodgers, one of the greatest pitchers in baseball right now. He's going through it right now because he said that he was into some rough sex. The woman is saying that she wasn't, and that he assaulted her or whatever, but he said that she asked for it. So it's just like getting all that stuff out of the way is one of the ways I think that, you know, you should communicate nowadays, man. It's 2021, a different animal, bro. You got to communicate.
Point, I am watching this show called Billions, and the lawyer on there is into BDSM, I think it's called, and getting beat, and that's how he, So
he's beating, or he likes to get beat.
Put his head through the wall. People like that, man.
Yeah, he like to get slapped and whipped and everything else. I don't know.
What show is this?
You
say Billions?
Oh. So y'all in the comments, do y'all have kinks? What are y'all kinks? Do y'all have that conversation in the beginning? So Rob, when did you and Fee had a conversation or just happened? I know she gave you a fish plate. That was her I want you moment.
Man, so I am not one to shy away from like what I like, or you know, during the flirtatious period is kind of when you're feeling each other out. You see how far you can push the line. You see how far, you know, you feeling each other out just to see what the other person likes. You know, you see how far you can go, how far you can pull back. And so, yeah, like in the beginning, back then, especially back then, 2009, I was fresh out of a marriage. So I was open. I was stuff that I liked. I was saying, you know, how much I like it. I was being honest as far as the stuff that I like, but I'm also open-minded. So, you know, I wanted her to feel comfortable telling me what she liked too, because it should be a back and forth. You know, what do you like? What do I like? We meet somewhere in the middle. But I feel like you should get that out up front. Like, you know, most people don't have like a scripted, you know, we sit down at the table, we have our list of shit and we read up the list. It doesn't really go like that in real life. You know, you're talking shit to each other, you know, you're making slick comments, you're flirting, et cetera, et cetera. And that's when most people usually say or tell, you know, the stuff that they like. Unless it's something that's just out there. But I feel like you should have that conversation up front before you all do any smashing or anything. You should be talking about that type of stuff prior to. Like, I see people talking about flying out, you know, to go spend time with a dude, but they ain't smashing. It's like, how are you getting on a plane to go fly to some dude you ain't never met before, and you don't know if you like? How do you get to that point if you all hadn't talked about smashing, or you know how many times you smash? It's just a lot of communication that's being missed between people, and there's a lot of assumptions going on. So I feel like you should be extremely open at the very beginning, and then let it go from there.
We're gonna have to have a Brothers Vent 2 after dark.
Hey, Blue Flipper.
Corey can't come though, and Jay Ward, you definitely can't come because.
No, I'm coming. I'm coming because I think this is healthy dialogue. That's why it's people who won't talk about their kinks, and that's why y'all in competition with toys right now.
Hey,
because you won't talk about your kinks.
He gonna have to go on the patio if we have an after dark.
Yeah, on the deck. I had to go on the deck for that one.
Let me get back on topic.
There's women right now that want to bring the rolls to the bedroom, and y'all won't let them. And that's the problem right there.
Hey,
go
on,
on, Swift.
Feet dude, though. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I like pretty toes, pedicures, you know what I'm saying? All that good stuff, you know. You dig?
Let's get back on topic. Lord have mercy. But that rose is a Corey. When did have that conversation?
Tracy's dog and Rose. If they bring them in a conversation, get prepared. Go ahead,
Corey, did you and Fee?
My bad. I'm on mute.
Did you and Denise have that conversation, or was it you just let it happen organically?
What conversation?
The what are we? Like, right, what conversation? What toy you had?
Oh yeah, she, you know, she was she the one that brought that up. She brought the. Some people want to know, like, especially when they're looking for something serious, they want to know, like, what's up? Is this going somewhere? If you just trying to pass time.
But when did y'all have that conversation?
Probably 2 to 3 months in.
Okay.
Like you don't ask that question too early because you will run the guy off or the girl off. Because I know I turned the page a couple of times when I was asked that question after 2-3 weeks. So you gotta be selective when you ask that question. But it's a good question to ask. Like Rob said, it's like some people be running up to people when I ain't had no conversation. So it's just for clarity anyway.
That's your problem, Corey. Exactly, right there. Because a woman not gonna ask you what are we unless you have sex with them like 2 or 3 times. So obviously, if she asked you after 2 or 3 weeks, you were moving too fast.
Listen,
and having sex.
This ain't about me.
You were moving too fast. I'm just saying.
That ain't true though. No, that ain't true. It's not. It doesn't. I feel like it depends on.
I need to get a drink.
It depends. Like some people ask that question because you'll have some niggas that'll say, "Let's just go with the flow and see where it ends up." And you'll be going with the flow for about a year.
Oh no.
You'll have some people that's saying that I don't believe in titles, so we vibing now. So it depends.
Just be straight up honest like I am. I tell your ass, listen here, I ain't ready for no relationship. Now it's up to you to keep it moving. I stay around. Simple as that.
Yeah, I'm trying my best to stay on top and keep a straight face, but these comments is
I just want to know what conquest and escapades feeds.
They wore this.
I'm confused.
Hey, Rob, you want me to get it? Rob, you want me to get into to old Rob?
No. Hey, unwashed Rob, old Rob does not exist anymore. Unwashed family man, Father Rob. That Rob is gone.
No, not Father Rob.
Hey, Mo later asked me why they call him Flip. I said he looked like a dolphin. He look like a dolphin, man. He look.
Flip, can I ask a question here? Can I ask a question here? And this is a question for the women. If you knew that your potential partner was a flipper like Rob, does that affect your thought process? Does that affect your thought process in being with that particular man? We've talked about with men, a woman with a lot of experience affecting their experience or their potential to date them.
They turn them on. They gonna lie.
Women, does that bother you that the man has a track record? Does that really bother you? Because you answered that in the comments, please.
It don't bother them. All right. But that is not the reason why I got the nickname Swift. We're not talking about why I got the nickname Swift. You wrap it up, shit. Got me cussing my grandma wife.
This the fight. What's this? No.
Did you talk about the what are we conversation?
Nah, man. I'm not with the what are we conversation, man. I think that a person's gonna let you know where you stand, and you need to stand on it. You need to step back from the situation, especially women. I think women lock in too fast, and that ends up being detrimental to them. You know what I'm saying? Like mostly men not gonna have this issue, but I do think that women should not ask what are we. If you feel like it's not going where you wanted to go in the time that you want it to go, get on down. For real.
And Miss Erica, all men don't have track records. Some of these niggas out here lame and trash as poo is all outdoors. Please believe. They selling stories and wolf.
I don't have one, so I feel that, Crow.
We're not gonna say lame and because I don't have a track record, and I think I was pretty,
Swift, you done moved to eating booty on this show, boy.
Swift, you were in the band. You're Greek. I'm in thorough disbelief that you don't.
And then he was
Everybody
an
can't-
athlete in high school. Come on
And he
now.
Right.
had
Like, I'm
dreads.
in thorough
Everybody
disbelief
can't be
of that.
me.
You light skinned, you a Virgo.
I'm not
Like,
like
you got everything.
All the dreadheads had
And he was
women.
Lulu pageant.
Yeah, Swift get mad because Swift can't be me in those regards. Swift used to get mad. Him, Devin, they'll get mad, be like, yeah, I don't know him like that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you can't be me.
Swift, you once walked around on campus with nothing but a towel and flip flops. I'm pretty sure.
That was the Honolulu pageant.
Right. I'm pretty sure.
I
that
remember.
I don't think that counts.
I know you're a doctor now, which is great, but I mean,
final comments.
you got a flash shirt on for a reason. Okay,
Hold
go
on,
ahead.
but somebody asked this. Let's Swift with the dreads had what?
All the bitches. That was insane.
I really was like a nice guy in college. Like I wasn't really out here in these streets. But anyway, how y'all feel about Juvenile back that vax that thing up? I saw somebody ask it in the comment. I don't like it.
Hey, they was gonna dub him over either way. They was gonna get some low budget rapper to make it. Man, hey, you know how hard it is to make a hit record? Like, bro, if that's gonna be your thing for the next 30 years to make you bread, then ride it out, dog. I don't have no problem with it at all.
I liked Mia X being on there. I didn't like the song at all, but I liked Mia X being put in the mix, you know what I'm saying? But again, this is propaganda. I'm the conspiracy bros. Y'all already know China is paying for this, man. You know what I'm saying? They're backing this, and we are falling for the okie doke. Say no.
I'm excited
No,
Mia
what?
X got the check from that because Mia X is overlooked and was
Say
one
no
of the
to
greatest
what?
women rappers ever. So I'm glad she can get the
The
check from
propaganda.
Smash with Scott.
But not this way though. I would prefer her to get it another way. But
Saying no to what? Like, what was the issue?
The vaccine thing up.
Like,
Hey,
say
but
no
T,
to get vaccinated?
Fiend had an album that came out last year.
It's hard too.
And it's hard. You see what I'm saying? Mia X was on it, but nobody listened to it. You
Yeah,
see what I'm saying? So
I
I'm just
listened
like,
to
get your money. Get your money, man. You know, like if I can still make money off something I made in the 99 and taking over for the 2000, then I am, you know. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it.
But now it's like if you hear that song during homecoming, it's like you can't even you're not gonna have the same reaction to it, in my opinion. Like it kind of
the reaction is not gonna change, bro. Come on.
It's not.
People gonna forget about that in 2 months.
It's cemented in
Probably.
history, man. It's certified.
It's a footnote because just like they would have just got somebody else to dub it over and make a version of it. Like it was gonna happen either way. Like Coolio said one time, y'all paid on Dave Chappelle's show. Coolio was like, "Hey, y'all paid this much money to get a holograph version of Coolio. You could have gave me $20,000 and got the real Coolio." I mean, this is like,
where is the country version or the rock and roll version for the other people?
All right, well, how about this? T, since you don't like the vax part, just change it to wax. Just tell her to wax that thing up for you. How about that?
It don't matter if it's wax or not because it's let's go.
Whoa.
You mean like oil?
Matter. That does matter.
Bro, you mean like oil or lube?
Final comments for the night.
That's one of your kinks. See that? That's why it's important to have the conversation. Go ahead.
Final comments for tonight because we not
Final comment is once again the black woman has hurt and been a detriment to the black man. And the reason is Sha'Carri's trainer and coach is a black man that has been robbed because of the actions of Eve, aka Sha'Carri. Robbed once again. The woman has robbed the man of greatness in the Garden of Eden.
Man, somebody gonna cut this clip T and they gonna eat you up.
What? Go ahead. Jay Ward.
Yeah, as far as Sha'Carri, I don't know exactly how you pronounce it, I'm gonna support her. If I have something negative to say about her, I keep it to myself because I feel like it's enough negativity headed her way anyway. So I wouldn't publicly come out and say anything negative towards her. I wish her the best. She's young. She has a lot of time to get her career on track. As far as everything else that we talked about, like, you know, I just think that it's so much hatred in our community, and we got to really, you know, stop this shit. Like for real. Like, man, there's so many positive people out there who do so many positive things, like Tabitha and her husband and all that. Like, we should be celebrating that, not debating whether she was right or wrong for retiring her husband. You think Meryl Streep's husband works? Like, hell no. It's like, you know, or her significant other, whoever she's with. So it's like, you know, that stuff is prevalent everywhere. So we just got to celebrate that, man. And just like, hey, this is a woman who made it. Let's help her figure out how we can help him in his next steps in life. And I think like that's really important. As far as anything else that we talked about, as far as like that, I had a friend who was telling me about how she told this dude her feelings and she was in love with him, and he texted her kind of back like, that's what's up. And I was like, man, you gotta fall back. Like, you gotta fall way back. If he says something so vain or so bland, he does not have any intentions on being with you. So you just gotta let him do what he's gonna do. And you know, if you need to move on, then you need to move on. So I think that's very important. Shout out to Juvenile, Manny Fresh, and Mia X with their hit song "Vax That Thing Up." That's gonna climb the charts again in 2021, the way it climbed the charts in 1999, 2000.
Absolutely not. CJB.
Boy, that's that brandy all in you.
So before I say last comments, Jay Ward, this is what I want you to do. I want you to start a Twitter page, right? Get on social media and peep who are the ones that are carrying that negativity as far as Tabitha and her husband. Then I want you to check back with the group online. I want you to do that. Like, I'll get you some followers and all that. I just want you to log on.
He ain't gotta do all that. He can just go Twitter search Tabitha and see what pop up.
Yeah, just log on.
So who is it with the negativity?
No, I want you to find out for yourself.
I got you.
Click on the profile pictures too. Don't just look at the tweets. Look at the pictures. So we're gonna search.
Just scroll. Just scroll.
But as far as Sha'Carri, man, like, I feel like the thing in sports that I think people don't realize, sports is not guaranteed. Like, you can have one freak injury and your career can be done for. Like T said, I think she fumbled the bag. Like, this is not her first time smoking. She has smoker lips, like I said several times, and she missed out on, in my opinion, she missed out on building her brand globally and making more money for herself and establishing her name. Like, I feel like people just found out about her really and I ain't gonna say like most people, the casual sports fan just found out about her due to the Olympic trials. If she would have made it to the Olympics, she would have been on the level and won, because I still think the Jamaicans were going to win anyway. But if she would have somehow won, she probably would have been on the same level as Usain Bolt. But it sucks how she found out about her mother. But I don't believe that was a one-time occurrence for her smoking. I think she's a habitual smoker. But I just hope that, I liked how she took accountability. She said she knew what she did. She did it wrong. She took her punishment. I respect that. But I feel like as she moves through sports, she's going to have to put the weed down, because I don't feel like they're going to lax those restrictions, in my opinion, especially when it comes to world championships. So we'll see. But I think she made a mistake. And even though she's young, it's like you got to know when to put certain stuff down. And I think that she fumbled the bag, in my opinion. She got a chance to recoup it, but her start going to be slower than anticipated because of not being able to compete in the Olympics. But I don't think that the USA was going to win the 4x1 anyway, but she probably could have won the individual.
Any other final comments, Tab, and what are we conversation?
Nah, I ain't got nothing to say about that.
All right, Crow.
Yeah, I'm gonna just tell everybody, just be cognitive of judgment. Nobody out there is perfect. Everybody in stumble one way or another. And we all still have time on this earth. So just know why you point a finger and ridiculing somebody else, you still got tomorrow to wake up and see. When it comes to Tab and her husband, definitely, like you all said, let's focus on the love, the uplifting of each other, the positivity of it, and letting everybody know it's okay for a Black man to be taken care of too in this world, just as he take care of his woman at the same time. And for me, that what are we conversation, people tell you I'm single, I'm reiterating shit out of that shit, especially right now in my life. Single as shit, trying to stay single as shit right now because I got things I'm working on. And that's that.
Rob.
For the Sha'Carri situation, for some reason, we feel like if you say that you don't agree with something someone did, that you hate that person. It's like people on social media can't walk and chew gum at the same time. It's like so extreme one way or the other. Like you can say that she fumbled the bag, but you support her. Like you can do both. It's possible. And that's how I feel. Like I feel like she fumbled. Even though we say she's young, the Olympics only happen every 4 years. So a lot of stuff can happen in 4 years. And so, you have to grasp that opportunity when it comes, because you don't know whether it comes back or not. But I'm rooting for her. I think she's got otherworldly talent. And hopefully this will be a learning lesson for her. We've all fallen, and we've had that one fall that hurt a little bit harder, that kind of snapped us back to reality. I had it early in my career where I was drinking a lot, and it probably could have ruined my career, but I fell hard. But it was a fall that I did behind closed doors where I was able to fix myself. Hers was just in front of millions of people. So that's the only difference. But hopefully she can come back from this and be greater. For the Tab situation, I say it all the time. I'm so tired of having Black relationships being circled in a cloud of negativity. I can't stand it. I hate how negative we constantly talk about people. We talk about each other. We talk about Black relationships and Black men. I despise it. I can't stand it, because all of us aren't trash and all Black people aren't criminals, trash, and pieces of crap. Like, it's just not true. And so I just want us to get out of that mind frame of constantly thinking negative about something that we are doing, especially if a Black man is involved. And the last topic, the what are we conversation, I've always hated it. I can't stand it because I'm super clear in my intentions. You won't have to guess what my intentions are. I'll usually tell you up front, which is why I've been usually labeled as being an asshole, because I'm usually blatantly honest to a fault. And so I watched this Patrice O'Neal video today where he talks about men and women. When we try to tell the truth, for women, they have the opportunity to tell the truth and say what they want to say. For men, because our truth is so harsh and it's so mean, we have to go through different processes to actually say what we mean, especially when it comes to an intimate partner. So I think a lot of us do that often, where we try to lighten the truth because what we really think is very mean and harsh. So I've always been very direct when it comes to what my intentions are. So I think you shouldn't have to ask, because if you have to ask, you already got your answer.
Oh, let me say one more thing. Shout out to the young lady, Miss, what's her name, Zalia Avant, who won the spelling bee.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Definitely can't end the show without giving her due props, her shout out for the hard work she's doing. Continue to grow, ma'am. Can't wait to see you do all the positive, great things that you're working on.
And it's just a side hustle for her.
Right. That's why I say we had to, give her just due out here. Especially with this happening this week, we couldn't let it pass by and bring it up next week. So, Hey,
you saw Pops in the photo. Like I've been knew she was the shit. Y'all just not finding out.
Yeah, so,
yeah.
you know,
Pops was like, yeah, this is light work, man.
Right. Like, I was like,
hey, you know, shout out to Simone Biles as well, who's going for gold again. The undisputed GOAT of her sport. I wish her the best. And shout out to Naomi Osaka, who said, I'm not competing in the Olympics because fuck this shit. My mental health is more important. And I think I absolutely agree with her because she really doesn't get any more money for competing in the Olympics. And I think that should be overhauled as well. And I think that's what the U.S. soccer team was fighting for. Like, they're the most dominant soccer team in the world. And they do not get paid as much as the men who don't win shit. So
it's trash. They're trash.
They're trash. So they should be getting paid.
The men ain't
been
good in decades.
Yeah,
the men never win. Like, we have no chance of winning gold in soccer, but the women are definitely going to win. So it's like, you know, we should be supporting them way more than the men.
But yeah,
hey, that's why I had to get that young lady her just due. Like, she needed to get her just due, definitely.
Straight up. And shout out to Swift. Swift, if eating booty is your kink, then you should. I mean, that's
So we absolutely cannot do Brothers Vent 2 live for homecoming. That's I don't think we're gonna be able to do Brothers Vent 2 live for homecoming.
Too much going on.
Not this year. Maybe next year.
Especially this year gonna be up. So
yeah, it's gonna be a little bit too crazy.
Hey, we can do a special. We can shoot it on maybe Thursday. Thursday evening before cigars and chill down.
Hey, I'm pulling in Thursday night. I'm just saying, I'm pulling in Thursday night.
I'm gonna be there Wednesday night.
Live from Crowley Deck.
I ain't gonna lie, homecoming gonna be hard, man. Homecoming gonna be hard.
Hey, it's gonna be. I hope we good, man. We play ULM on my birthday, so I'm gonna be there.
Gotta get that quarterback situation checked.
We got to get that offensive line situated.
Goodness gracious.
So I think all the brothers will be in Jackson for homecoming. I think it's October 9th that weekend, and we look forward to seeing who eating boot. So we're gonna wrap this up by if y'all have any questions you would like to ask, message any of us. We will put those on. Also, if you would like to come on live and ask the brothers a question live, you may do so. Just message me and we'll make that happen. I'll send you the link. We can make that happen for next week. But it was a pleasure seeing y'all.
Santonio to homecoming. We're gonna take care of him, Zay. Santonio, we got him.
Yeah, Antonio
the part with AB under the tent, man. We got him.
We got him.
So yeah, y'all come on down for homecoming so we
got a special spot for him under the AB tent. We'll take care of him.
Hey, don't forget to follow the IG, man. We cranking everything back up, you know what I'm saying? So let's get it. Brother.
And see y'all next week.
It's the 13th weekend. It's like Friday the 13th. Is that what that means?
Oh, I think it's the weekend of the 19th. Weekend of the 19th. Let me see.
I don't know. I haven't looked at it. I'm taking off.
Homecoming on October the 16th or something like that.
I don't fucking know.
Oh, it is the 16th because I think Texas Southern is October the 9th.
Good night, sister-in-law.
I don't know. All right, we'll bring it up next week.
I'm gonna have these homecoming abs on display. I'm ready to cut up.
Holla.
Hey, Rob.